Ms. Kaushaliani, you can begin.
So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, distinguished dignitaries, and the valued audience. It is with immense pleasure and a warm heart that I extend a hearty welcome to all of you to the sixth session of the Faculty Development Program organized by the Faculty of Management Studies, Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka, in collaboration with the Emerald Publishing. Your presence today is a testament to the commitment and dedication we all share towards the pursuit of academic excellence and professional growth. First and foremost, I extend my warm welcome to Professor Appulananapala, Dean, Faculty of Management Studies, Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka. Next, I bid a warm welcome to our esteemed resource person of the today's session, Dr. H.P. Rasika Proyankara, Senior Lecturer, Faculty of Management Studies, Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka. With gratitude, let me welcome Professor M.S.M. Aslam, Chairman of the Research and Publication Unit, Faculty of Management Studies, Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka. With great respect, let me also welcome Professor Jayanta Devasiri, the Chairperson of the Faculty Development Program, Faculty of Management Studies, Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka. With gratitude, I would also like to warmly welcome Ms. Sangeeta Menon, Chairperson of the Faculty Development Program, Emerald Publishing, and Ms. Disha Vaknapal, the Chief Organizer of the Faculty Development Program, Emerald Publishing. Further, let me welcome Ms. Shanika Ratnasiri, Secretary of the Faculty Development Program, and Ms. Dimuthu Vijayaratna, the Assistant Secretary of the Faculty Development Program. In addition, I would also like to extend a warm welcome to all the distinguished participants from Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka and Emerald Publishing. Your presence here reflects your commitment to the pursuit of knowledge and continuous learning. In addition to our distinguished guests, we are equally delighted to have our valued participants, mainly academics and researchers coming together from various corners of the world to share insights, exchange ideas, and collectively contribute to the advancement of our fields. Once again, a warm welcome to all of you. Let's embark on this journey of knowledge and exploration together, fostering collaborations that will ripple across borders and disciplines, contributing to a brighter future for academia and beyond. Thank you. So, before we proceed into the today's session themed Academic Integrity and Ethics in Publications, let me introduce our esteemed resource person of the today's session, Dr. H.P. Rasika Proyankara, to the valued audience. Dr. H.P. Rasika Proyankara, formerly the head of the Department of Business Management at the Faculty of Management Studies, Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka, holds the position of Senior Lecturer Grade 1. He obtained his PhD in Entrepreneurs Management from Wuhan University of Technology, Wuhan, People's Republic, China in 2018. Prior to that, he completed an MBA in Human Resource Management at the University of Colombo, Sri Lanka in 2010, and BSc in Business Administration Special Degree from the University of Sri Jayewardenepura, Sri Lanka in 2005. His research focuses on human resource management and organizational behavior. Dr. Proyankara received the Outstanding Paper Award at the Emerald Literati Awards 2022 for his publication in the Employee Relations Journal. Additionally, he was honored with the Most Cited Research Award 2022 by the Faculty of Management Studies, Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka. He has published over 25 research papers in refereed journals and conferences, including 7 publications in journals indexed in the Social Science Citation Index, Scopus, Elsevier, and Emerging Sources Citation Index, Clarivat Analytics. As of July 2023, his research work has garnered more than 350 citations. In terms of professional qualifications, Dr. Proyankara completed the professional qualifications in Human Resource Management at the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management, Sri Lanka, and is an associate member of the institute. Prior to joining Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka in 2005, he served as the Senior Operations Executive at American Premium Water Systems for Proyankara. His held various positions at Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka, including Director of the Career Guidance Unit, Head of the University Development Grant of Higher Education for 21st Century Project 2013-2014, Coordinator of the Quality and Innovation Grant for the BS Business Management Special Degree of the HETC Project 2014, and Coordinator of the Practical Training Unit at the Faculty of Management at Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka in 2008. So, without any further ado, I would like to warmly invite Dr. Rasika Proyankara to proceed with the session. Dear sir, over to you.
Thank you so much, Ruanvika. And it's a wonderful day today. And it's great to be a resource person in this faculty development program organized by the Faculty of Management Studies, Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka, in collaboration with Emerald Publication. And I'm really thankful to Ms. Sangeeta Menon and Ms. Disha Lakanpal, as well as Professor Atula, Professor Aslam, and Professor Devasiri for creating this kind of a platform to develop the competencies of academic staff members and young researchers, not only in South Asia, but also all around the world. So today I'm going to discuss about academic integrity and ethics in publication. I think we will go through a wonderful session today, and at the end of the session, let's have a Q&A session also. So let me first start with one thing that was striking for any researcher, that is the term or the concept of retraction. What do we mean by retraction? Retraction means that we have already published an article or a manuscript in a scholarly journal, but later on, either editors or the readers or any other scientific communities, they identify that this paper is not in good scientific quality due to various reasons, and then this paper will be withdrawn from the journal. So if any academic member gets this kind of retraction, so that is a black mark for the entire academic career. So let me share one of the interesting research articles that was done by Levery et al. So they have done research about research ethics, the profile of retraction from world-class universities. So let me share the findings, so then you will get to know that how important this aspect of academic integrity and publication ethics for our discussion. So these researchers, they looked at top 20 ranked universities in Times Higher Education ranking, and they chose articles published in Web of Science database from 2010 to 2019. And they identified that there were 330 retraction during that particular period of time from the top 20 ranked universities in the. And then the results, the 20 best ranked world-class universities had an average of 16.5 plus or minus 12.9 retraction during that period. So that means at least there'll be very close to 10 to 20 retraction, even from the world best universities. Okay, so the authors from the world best universities also had this kind of retraction. And it's interesting to see that Harvard University had the largest number of retraction during that period, and Duke University occupied the second position with 10.3%. And there are so many other universities, means 20 universities in this, but Harvard and Duke had the most number. And then when it comes to reputed journals, articles from Nature publications, there were 5.15% of retractions from Nature. So then they have identified what are the reasons for these kind of retractions. The most popular reason, or the most staggering reason, was the fabrication, data fabrication, falsification, and unreliable results. So, and the other finding was that the higher the ranking of the university, lower the retraction rate. There's a point that we have to take from this, that is, even the top universities in the world, they experience academic integrity issues as well as research publication, ethics in research publication issues too. So what about South Asia? And what about India? What about Sri Lanka? Let me share some of those statistics while during this discussion. So here in this session particularly, I'm going to focus on few areas. One is we'll clarify what is academic integrity and ethics in publications, and let's explore or let's understand what are the potential violations of academic integrity and publication ethics violations. And then finally, we'll discuss how can we ensure academic integrity and ethics in publication as researchers. Hope the way forward is clear. So let's move to academic integrity. Simply, academic integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles that you refuse to change, as per the Cambridge Dictionary. And there are various definitions about this, and academic integrity is the value, behavior, or conduct of academics in all the aspect that they practice. And then academic integrity means being honest and academic in academic work. So putting all these things together, we can identify that academic integrity is about honesty and it is not about dishonesty. So being academics or being learners, being researchers, one of the prime requirements of a true academic is to be honest and to have academic integrity. So let's focus on now, when it comes to academic integrity, it's a very broad concept. It is not only relevant to research, it spans over different other areas. Basically, it spans over learning, that is in institutes or in universities or higher education institutes. We engage in learning, not only in higher education learning, even in primary schools or primary education, secondary education, and even tertiary education, this academic integrity is important. And especially in higher education institutes, teaching aspect is there. So then teaching is done by academic members. So they have to have academic integrity in teaching too. And then the most important area that is relevant to our discussion is it's about research and publications. And the stakeholders to this is various. There are students anyway. So when they are in the learning process, they have to show academic integrity. And then in the teaching process, there are teachers, or in universities, we have academics, professors, and doctors, those who are teaching. So they had to maintain academic integrity in teaching. And then when it comes to publication, there are various stakeholders, publishers, and they have editors, reviewers. When it comes to doing research, we have research students, researchers, supervisors, and lots of stakeholders are there into this action of giving academic integrity and keeping publication ethics in order. So with this understanding, let's understand why academic integrity is to be maintained. So when it comes to academic integrity, there are negative connotations also, because people easily understand academic integrity issues when they get to know these kind of terms like academic dishonesty, misconduct, and cheating. And this has been a global problem, and it is the problem is increasing these days. And at the same time, there are research findings to say that 90% of higher education students have cheated at some point in their academic career. That is also a staggering figure. And there is a nice, the other curious part is that some of the students, they don't weave that they are engaging in academic misconducts. That is the worrying part for the future, because they do wrong things, they do dishonest act, but they don't believe that it is dishonest. That is critical. Now, when it comes to education sector, from education, what we try to do is we try to develop persons to take up different roles in the society. And finally, we would like to see a better society with proper education. It can be primary, secondary, or tertiary, or higher education. Prime aim is to make a better society where people, animals, and everybody in the nature can live a good life. But we have seen that there are lots of breaches of academic integrity and the effect of it also. We produce doctors, nurses, engineers, managers, accountants, educators, researchers, scientists, and a lot more others. Let me give you one example. Very recently in Sri Lanka, we came across certain news saying that one of the principals of a good college in a city has taken bribes to enroll a student to grade 1, and that person has been caught by the crime officers. So why does it happen? Why these professionals engage in dishonest act? There is research evidence to say that if you do academic misconduct, so if you violate academic integrity at the learning level, that is in education, there is more probability that they are going to engage in unethical professional behaviors when they really work. So there is a study done with engineering students, and it has found that students who cheated in college were more likely to break workplace policies. And business students, again, there's a positive relationship between engaging in academically dishonest acts and practicing unethically in the workplace. Not only that, psychology students, there is a finding that cheating in school and practicing unethically as a professional have a relationship. So Nonis and Swift, they concluded in their research that the students who do not respect the climate of academic integrity at college will not respect integrity in their future professional and personal relationships. Okay. So there is no doubt that maintaining academic integrity is one of the purposes of is really needed to have a good society. But the case is, if you do not respect academic integrity at the college level or in the university level or at school level, there is a danger, there is a threat of creating an unethical society or a rubbish society. That is why we need to be concerned about academic integrity. So that is one part of why we should concern about academic integrity. Let's look at the other part, which is connected to research. So before moving to that, I would like to emphasize this statement by Albert Einstein. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. So you do small violations or breaches of integrity, and sometimes you might do bigger or major violations of integrity in the future. So whether it is small or big, if the integrity is not there, then there will be something absent, that is trust. When it comes to research and publication specifically, if you look at academic integrity in research, why do we need to bother about it? It is lies in the essence of the meaning of research itself. So if you look at it in a broader perspective, what is the research? It's a process of producing new knowledge. So in research, what we do is we produce new knowledge. Okay. So that means we need to uncover reality or the truth. But suppose that what if the academics engage in this process, or researchers engage in this process, do not act honestly? That is, if they breach integrity, what will happen to the knowledge that they generate? Will there be true knowledge creation without academic integrity of research? Just ask it from you, especially the novel researchers, those who are entering into the research field, those who want to become academics in the future. You have to take this message a lot. And all the seasoned researchers and emerging researchers also need to think about this. If we do not act in integrity, what will happen is the knowledge that we produce will not be trusted. Not only that, the application part of the knowledge that we have produced, that is the fake knowledge, right? This fake knowledge will be applied by different people to produce products, to come up with treatments, and to initiate different initiatives or activities. So then the applications based on fake knowledge definitely will jeopardize humans and their existence, animals and their existence, and planet and its existence. So therefore, we have a great responsibility as researchers. If we are engaging in a true knowledge producing endeavor, we have to act in academic integrity, and we have to have ethics in that. There is no compromisation. If we compromise, what we compromise is we compromise our own existence. So therefore, from educational perspective as well as from research perspective, maintaining academic integrity is essential. Without it, there is no way. So with that understanding of why academic integrity is important and what is academic integrity, let's move forward to the discussion of publication ethics. Right. So when it comes to publication ethics, there are several things that I would like to highlight. And in this, first thing is, let's understand what is ethics and what is publication ethics. And then we'll identify further statistics about violations of publication ethics, and then we'll identify what are the different types of publication ethics violations, and then why do people do like that. And then in the latter part, I'm going to move my discussion into one of the latest areas of research publication ethics, that is, how do we deal with artificial intelligence and generative AI. So let's understand first what is publication ethics in a very brief manner. So ethics is the broadest term, and publication ethics is a part of ethics. And ethics is not only applied in academic arena, it is everywhere. We can apply ethics in any situation or in any discipline. Ethics basically says a set of moral principles, a theory or system of moral values. When it comes to in the meaning of publication ethics is the code of conduct or regulatory mechanism being developed for the publication process of scholarly journals. Now, when we publish in scholarly journals, we develop a certain code of conduct that the researchers or the authors need to follow. Not only authors, there are several other stakeholders they have to follow, or otherwise we develop a kind of a regulatory mechanism. So that is known as basically publication ethics. If we take a look at the holistic perspective of the publication ethics in the world, there is something known as COPE, that is Committee on Publication Ethics. Now, these COPE guidelines are followed by good journals, most of the good journals in the world. And anybody who wants to learn about publication ethics, and if you want to start up a journal, then again, how to ensure publication ethics, you can resort to this COPE publication ethics codes. And the other thing is reputed publishers in the world like Sage, Elsevier, Springer, Taylor and Francis, Emerald, and a lot of others, they also have developed their own code of conduct when it comes to publication ethics. So any new researcher or any researcher can go through their websites and identify what sort of things that we need to do and from what sort of things that we need to get rid of. So then there is another interesting research that was done by Sharma et al. In 2023. It was published in 2023. So it was also about retractions. That is, people have published and later on those papers were suspicious and then they were removed from the journals. And these researchers, they have focused on publication with Indian affiliations indexed in Medline, okay, between 1st January 1990 to December 2021. So the span of period was so long, and then during this period of total of 619 papers from 372 different journals they have identified. Okay, so then These journals, they had the impact factor mean value of 3.2, and their retraction time and pre-retraction time is also there. So before retraction, there were citations, and post-retraction citations were also there for these kind of papers. So what does it mean? Okay. Now we have the researchers or the editors and the publishers have identified that these research papers are fake knowledge, and still these papers have been cited by other researchers and they have published papers in journals. So what does it mean? There will be a ripple effect of fake knowledge if the publication ethics are not maintained. And the other point here is the number of retractions relative to the number of newly published journals is higher, and it is increasing. Yeah. So the new journals, the publications in new journals, there's more tendency of retracting than in established journals. And the reasons for retractions are also interesting. That is, there's plagiarism, there's falsification and fabrication, dual publications are also there, erroneous data in certain publications, authorship issues, fake peer reviews, and then ethical and funding issues are also there. So let's see from this research statistics, what are the key reasons behind the retractions. So if you look at, you can see there are various kinds of reasons, but the major reason is plagiarism, which is one of the major areas in publication ethics that we need to address. And the second major one was falsification and fabrication. So let's get to know what is falsification and what is fabrication. It will be interesting to know that. And the third highest was duplicate publications. Duplicate publications. Let's get to know that too in a little while. And there are so many other reasons like authorship conflicts, fake peer reviews, technical errors, and there are some unknown issues also. Okay. So these are the issues that has been raised for the papers published even in index journals. So what about non-index journals? It's a question mark. If these kind of ethics violations are in index journal publications, there'll be huge amount of these kind of violations in non-index journals also. Unfortunately, the statistics that we have is limited. But anyway, now let's focus about these different types of ethical violations. There are, as I said you earlier, there are various. Plagiarism is one, data fabrication, falsification, multiple submission, redundant publications, which is known as salami publications or salami slicing, improper author contributions or attributions, and there will be conflict of interest issues also. So there will be basically conflict of interest issues, say if there is an institute and that institute publishes a journal, and then the editorial board is also from that institute, and then there'll be authors from that institute, and there will be these authors and the reviewers also from the same institute maybe. So then authors, editors, and the reviewers, they know each other and they have affiliations also. They might have worked in the same kind of earlier research project also. So then they have their intimacies. So there will be conflict of interest if that kind of practice is happening. So let's now dive into what plagiarism and to identify different variations of plagiarism. So plagiarism is defined as an object which has been taken, okay, from a particular source by an agent, student, person, or an academic without or adequate uh, acknowledgement, and with or without intention to deceive. It is simply you take something, means you take the words, text, or language from another source or from another researcher's work, published work, and you utilize it without giving the credit to the original author. And this, if you do it innocently, that means you don't have the idea of taking the other person's stuff, but you did it without knowing it, still it is plagiarism. So therefore, if we are in the business of research, we should know that with or without any intention to deceive, even if you say take stuff from other people's work without acknowledging, that is wrong. So then there are different variations that can happen in plagiarism. One thing is non-quoting. That is, sometimes you need to get a definition from another person's work. So then you get the definition and you put it as your own. So that is about non-quoting. And then non-citing. You take ideas from others, but you do not give the credit to the original author. So when you take ideas, what you need to do is you can't just copy the line and paste it and give the citation. But what you need to do is you need to read the original author's work and identify the idea, and we need to paraphrase it. That means we need to convert the idea into our own words. That has to be done, and then the credit should be given. And then there are some other areas like direct copying. Okay. Non-paraphrasing is also there, as I said you earlier. Then these days, there is a business which is going in the market that is about, there are businesses, those who write research for the MBA students or PhD students too. So some students, what they do is they take this contract writing. That is, all research will be done by somebody else, and this person is paying that particular business and getting that research. That is also a kind of a plagiarism. So that should not be done. And the other variation is self-plagiarism. There are some researchers are in the hunt of getting more citations, because it will be reflected in their profile. So then they try to get more citations. What they do is sometimes they self-plagiarize. That is, they take their own work and then they used it in their so many other publications. Same write-up. Okay? That means even if you take from your previous publications as it is, okay, that is also wrong. That is plagiarism. Okay. You should not take things if those things are not relevant to your new study. If it is relevant, you have to properly cite it and take it. You have to properly cite it and take it. Otherwise, self-plagiarism is also plagiarism. So that means cheating is not only about taking unauthorized things from others, it is also using your same previously published things in your new writing. And there are certain other areas like copyright violations also. when it comes to social sciences and behavioral sciences, there are certain measurement scales that has been copyrighted. So then, as a researcher, you can't use it without getting the permission. And there are certain models, frameworks that have been copyrighted. If you need to use it in your research, you need to get prior permission from the original authors or from the institutes. Okay. So then I believe that you understand a lot about plagiarism. Plagiarism happens everywhere. So it is a thing that should not happen. So that is taking somebody else's work or taking your own previous work is treated as plagiarism if you do not properly cite it. So with that understanding of plagiarism, let's see what is falsification and what is fabrication. Data fabrication and data falsification is also happening in lot of research. Data fabrication means simply you don't do the research, so you manufacture data. Okay. So then this data will be 100% fake. Researcher did not actually do the study, but fake the data. This is done by many undergraduate research students. Okay. So they don't go for actual data collection, but they sit on somewhere and then they enter their own data, and they thereafter they run the statistical analysis. So not only those kind of undergraduate students, but there are evidences, reputed authors or some authors, those who have published in index journals, also have done data fabrication. And if the fabrication is detected, so then your article will be retracted. Then falsification means that is manipulation of data, in the sense researcher did the experiment or collected the data set, but they altered the data to get the desired outcome, maybe. Okay, they alter it. So that is also wrong, isn't it? That doesn't show the actual picture of the reality when you change the data. Okay. So in both these cases, data fabrication means you are generating 100% fake data. Data falsification means you have some amount of data, but you alter some. Both data fabrication and data falsification are wrong things. And it's sometimes very difficult to find it out whether they have done fabrication or falsification. In order to get rid of this, some journals, they ask for the original data set. Okay? They ask for original data set. So then let's see what is multiple submission and what is redundant submissions. Okay. Multiple submissions, it's easy to understand. That is, some authors are there. If we talk about the practicality in the world, that when we do a higher studies, maybe a PhD study with publications, so then you are in a rush to publish, and you have a time period to publish, and now you have a pressure to publish. If you do not publish, you can't pass the examination. Okay. So then on the other hand, some good journals, they take fairly a lot of time, or means unnecessary time sometimes, for the reviewing process. or it takes maybe 6 months, sometimes 1 year. So then now the students are also thinking that what if this journal review my paper and reject it? I don't have time to publish it in elsewhere. So then sometimes people tend to submit their manuscript to 2 or more journals at the same time, which is known as multiple submissions. So multiple submissions is also unethical. That is, you should submit your manuscript only to one particular journal at a particular time. You should not submit it to several journals. What if people submit it to several journals? It's a kind of a waste for various parties. Like it's killing editors' time, and it's killing of peer reviewers' time. Then at the end of the day, your reputation will be damaged as the author, and then the journal's reputation is also in a question. So therefore, and so then what happens ultimately is, if published in more than one journal, then the latter publication has to be retracted. So anyway, there will be a retraction there. Okay. So therefore, as good researchers, authentic researchers, never ever submit your manuscript to 2 journals at the same time. Okay. I said about 2 journals, don't send it to 3 journals also. And the other thing is redundant publications, or which is known as salami publications or salami slicing. So that is, you have a set of data, you have done a project, you have done a research, you have collected data, and this data, what you do is you develop different manuscript using the similar kind of data, and you change titles and then try to publish so many papers from the same data set. Okay. So slice it and published it. That is also unethical practice. So it's always better to combine your all research work into one robust paper and send it to a good journal, index journal, and publish it in that, and take the pride of doing that, rather than slicing it to different parts and not being able to hit what you want to hit. That is a highest level of publication. You won't be able to reach when you practice salami slicing. So if detected, so there will be repercussions with salami slicing too. Now we discussed about plagiarism, and then data fabrication, falsification, multiple submission, and redundant submission. Let me take you to the other main ethical issue that happens is, it's always about authorship. There will be dispute over the authorship, right? So then we have a question: who should
Hello, hello, hello. I think for some reason Dr. Rasika seems to have gone offline. Please give a few minutes. I'm sure he may just be facing some technical issues. He'll be back. Professor Devasri, Professor Devasri, are you on the line, sir?
Yes, it seems that there is a problem with Dr. Rasika's connectivity, so we will back soon.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. We're sorry for the temporary, issues that we are facing. Please, we hope you can hold the line just for a few more minutes. I'm sure he'll be back. I can still see that Dr. Rasika is offline. I think he's still facing some issue. We're really sorry for this delay. I hope he's able to join soon. We'll keep you updated. I'm sure Professor Devasiri is in touch with him, and he'll inform us if there's any issue. He's offline now, so I think he's been properly able to get off. I think he'll be joining us again now. So please just give us a few more minutes. He'll be joining soon. I can see that Dr. Rasika is online again. Dr. Rasika, if you are facing any issues with your signals, you can just keep your camera off so that it helps you with your internet. But if the internet
Disha?
is fine, you can. Yes, sir.
Hello. Disha, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible, Disha. So I think Dr. Rasika is also online now.
Yes, he's audible, but he's muted himself again. So I'm worried if he's able to hear us.
The problem with him is the connectivity, so he will back in 2 minutes.
Okay. Professor Devasiri,
Yes,
if
Disha.
you can ask Dr. Rasika to share his presentation with me, he wouldn't need to share his screen. I can share the screen, and he will just have to switch off his camera also. He will just have to speak. He can let me know when to change the slide. So let's give him, as much broadband as we can.
Okay,
So if
okay, we'll do the next
we can just ask him to send me the presentation. I'll start sharing. Oh, we can see him again. He's back.
I'm extremely sorry that there was a disconnection of my internet connection. Disha, can I share the slide?
Yes, we can see we are at the you're actually at the authorship slide. If you are not able to, let me do one thing. Let me make you the presenter again and see if you get the rights back. You can start sharing again.
I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thanks a lot. I'm
Thank you.
extremely sorry for the
No
disturbance.
problem. Thank you so much to the participants for their patience. Thank you, sir. You can begin.
Yeah, okay. So we were, I think the last point that you could hear was, I was talking about different types of ethical violations. And one of the other issue is about authorship. And we have the issue of who should be an author for an article. So there are various guidelines given who should be an author. So this is an example from Elsevier. Say the question is, can you have honorary or guest authors? You can't. That is unethical. And the other thing is, when you do certain research project, you get some technical assistance from some members. At the same time, you get, say, certain funding facilities also. And you treat them as authors? Again, it's not the case. So what you can do is, for them, you can acknowledge them in the paper. Okay? In the paper. And there is another bad thing that is done by especially research supervisors with their research students, is that when the student has done a research and this supervisor forces the student to insert supervisor's name as the first author. Because when you have a first author publication, that will be more recognized in universities when it comes to performance evaluation.
Dr. Rasika?
But who has really contributed to? Yeah.
Sir, may I request you to switch off your webcam?
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what
I
I
did
wanted
it.
to.
Can you
switch
see?
off your webcam?
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just that due to technical issues, I thought I'd just let you know, switch off your webcam so that we can hear you. You know that the broadband is not used that way
Sure.
because your voice was breaking.
Thanks a
Okay,
lot.
thank you so much.
So when it comes to authorship, there are different issues. Like one is unethical practices of research supervisors. They sometimes ask their research students to insert their name as the first author, whereas the bulk of the work, research work, has been done by the research student, and a research student supposed to be the first author, but some supervisors, they insist that their name or the supervisor's name should appear as the first author. Those are unethical practices that happens, and those are not accepted. Okay. So then these authorship issues or conflict has to be sorted out actually before starting the research project. Okay. When it comes to authorship guidelines for medical journals, especially, there is a committee known as International Committee of Medical Journal Editors. So this committee has given specific guidelines who should be an author for an article. Yeah. And at the end of the session, I'll share these links so that all the participants will be able to log into those links and to identify, okay, who should be an author, especially when it comes to a medical. But whatever it is, authorship guidelines are clearly given by reputed journals, means good journals. So then every researcher who has any authorship issue has to first see the guidelines provided by the journals and then act upon that. So what happens if there is a detection of publication ethics violation? That is interesting, because if there are publication ethics violations, what happens is, first, your paper will be rejected even without a review. Okay. So editors of journals, they have a good eye, as well as so if they get to know that this paper is rubbish because it has a lot of issues in plagiarism, they identify data fabrications or falsification, so then it will be rejected even without reviewing. And then ultimately there will be a retraction of your manuscript. That is pretty bad. Not only that, your bad behavior will be notified to your employer or the academic institute. That will create another set of issues at your own educational institute, because it's a misconduct in terms of employment contract violation. Because violation of research integrity, publication ethics can lead to a violation or breach of contract of employment. And sometimes you might lose the job even. And then sometimes certain journals, what they do is they place the authors on watch list or blacklist. That is not a nice place to be as an author, as a researcher. And then some journals, they go to ban these authors for a specified time period too. Okay. So there will be a lot of negative consequences that the authors are going to receive if they engage in these kind of breaches of academic integrity and publication ethics violations. So now we have looked at most of the areas. Let me look at some other area which is connected to the second session of faculty development program, which was done by Professor Samit Narula, unethical publishers. Okay. we had a session about predatory journals. For more details, if you can revisit the second session that we had in our whole series, I think you can get a better idea how to get rid of these kind of unethical publishers. Now, authors do unethical practices. At the same time, there are a set of unethical publishers too. These unethical publishers are known as predatory journals, means fake journals. Okay, there are various types of predatory journals like shoddy or sham journals, where they don't have any standard. Okay, then clone journals are there. So that is it's an online dubious journal of an authentic printed journal. Okay. There is a good authentic printed journal, and what these fake people do is they create the online version of that printed journal, and they attract articles, and they take fee, and they do a business. Then the other thing is known as hijack journals, mimic standard journals. There are good journals, and they develop similar kind of journals where the authors will be distracted, and authors think that this is the original journal, so then they tend to go and publish. And there is another set of these kind of unethical publishers known as crony journals. So that is basically these crony journals are institutional journals where a majority of the editorial board and the reviewers are from the same institute. So that is also some area that has a ethical dilemma, because the knowledge has to be authenticated or validated by the people who have expertise in that particular area. But sometimes this happens within an institute where sometimes the experts might not be there in that particular institute. Okay, so the advice is, as an author, don't go for these kind of predatory journals. Okay? What they do is they bypass reviewing process, because reviewing process is an essential and crucial thing for the development of science. Okay? So if there is no review, any rubbish you can publish. So what these fake journals or predatory journals do is they publish anything that comes to their hand, and they either go for no reviewing at all. Sometimes, for the sake of saying that they have a review process, they do a fake review. Okay. So then what they do is they only need money. Okay. So there are two basically models in publications. That is conventional model, where the authors send the manuscript, and journal will not take any money from the author, but once they published it, if the public needs to read it, they have to pay subscription and buy that particular paper. That is conventional model. So then comes the open access model, where the authors pay for publication, but it is free for the researchers to read and involve in the read the paper. So with this open access model, these unethical business journals, what they do is they say that they are open access, and then they charge money. What they need only is this article processing charge. That's all what they really go for. Okay. So they take your money, and it's not a good publication, and it will not be regarded as a good publication at the end of the day. So then what happens when you publish in these unethical publishers or predatory journals is that there'll be a pool of fake literature created, and your subject discipline will be destroyed, and your career will be harmed, and your institute reputation will be in damage, and there is a threat to the society also. Okay. So therefore we should not go. But why do people go for these kind of predatory journals is that there's a huge pressure to publish, otherwise you perish. Means if you don't publish, you can't get the degree. So then somehow you try to publish it. People find out easy ways of publishing too. So then sometimes genuinely new researchers might not know about these fake journals, and they are in the trap of publishing predatory journals. Sometimes when there are rejections from index journals, some people desperate to go for any publication, so then they do that. And some people need to show the quantity and to show off that they have a good hundreds of publications, but they are not thinking about quality. So on one hand, there will be attraction from these unethical publishers. On the other hand, there will be a push towards unethical publishers from the authors too. So being a researcher, you should be mindful about these things, and you should never ever publish in fake journals. Okay, what you can do is you can check fake journals from BO list and Cable's blacklist, and then if you want to publish in a journal, you can just check whether the journal is in journal citation report, or if it is open access, whether it is in DOAJ, and then you can check the impact factor in Web of Science, right? Impact factor in Web of Science. There are so many other fake impact factor generations, so don't be fooled by that. And then you can look at if it is a Scopus indexed one, whether that journal has a site scope. And for more details, as I told you earlier, you can refer to our second session, which was done by Professor. Professor explained in and out how to avoid these kind of predatory journals. Okay, so now you will understand that publication ethics are violated not only by authors, so those are violated by even publishers. Okay, but reputed publishers, they don't engage in these kind of violations. Okay, so then the interesting area is, nowadays we are talking about artificial intelligence, and do artificial intelligence has a link to publication ethics? Okay, so my answer would be yes, it has. So nowadays all of us know that there is something known as generative AI. Okay, we have ChatGPT and paraphrasing tools like Quillbot. All these things are there. Okay. Now, is it ethical to use ChatGPT in writing your articles? And is it ethical to use Quillbot? So if you use ChatGPT, Quillbot. So where are you in the research process? Is it you who represent the paper, or is it ChatGPT or Quillbot? There are questions. Now, with this ChatGPT and a lot of other generative AI tools, students could potentially cheat assignments, research, and even their essays, anything, right? They can cheat because they can ask ChatGPT to write on behalf of them, and they don't know is A of that article. And the other thing is generated text from AI and real text written by humans are a bit difficult to recognize also, but still the technologies are developing, and hopefully there'll be good techniques to identify what is machine generated text and what is human written text. So with this AI, and when it comes to publication ethics, there are certain fundamental questions that we can ask. First question is, can authors use AI assisted technologies in writing manuscript? No, can't. So it's not a very clear cut answer. answer would be when you go and search in Elsevier, there are policies where authors use generative AI and AI-assisted technologies in writing process. These technologies should only be used to improve readability and language of the work. So they give permission to use AI tools to improve readability and language of the work. Okay. But applying the technology should be done with human oversight. Okay. Control and authors should carefully review and edit the results. Because AI can generate authoritative sounding output that can be incorrect, incomplete, or biased. So the total responsibility goes to authors. Right? So then authors should be mindful, as well as they should be in the process, and it should not be led by ChatGPT or any other AI assisted tool. So then the other thing is, if you use ChatGPT at least to improve your language, so then you need to disclose. Okay? We are required to disclose it. And basically, this declaration should appear just before the referencing part. And Elsevier, straightforward, they have given a declaration statement, and what the authors have to do is they use it. If they use AI assisted technologies, they have to basically apply this declaration statement in the research article. So then the other thing is, other question is, can AI be an author of your manuscript? Answer is no. Okay. Because authors should not list AI and AI assisted technologies as an author or co-author, or cite AI as an author, since authors have to take the responsibility of their publication, about the data, about the interpretations. But this AI assisted technologies cannot take that responsibility. So therefore, you can't include AI assisted technologies as author or co-author. Then the other thing is, can generative AI or AI assisted tools be used in creating journal covers? Again, it is not. Okay, it is not. And then the other question is, can generative AI and AI assisted tools be used in creating figures, image, and artwork? Okay. Again, the answer is no, you should not. Right? You should not. But like, you can use it for adjustment of brightness, contrast, color balance. For those kind of things, you can use AI assisted technologies, but not to create the image and not to create the figures. It has to be done by the authors by using non-AI technologies. I hope you got a better picture about writing manuscript and dealing with AI, and when it comes to publication, to what extent that we can use ChatGPT kind of AI assisted technologies. Okay, so then finally we come to the area. So how to ensure academic integrity and publication ethics. There are several things that we can do, because in this whole process of academic endeavor and publications, authors are involved in, supervisors they involved in. When it comes to research journals, editors are there, reviewers are there, and then publishers are also there. And then academic institutes are also involved in this whole process. So then every party has a part to play. So we cannot say that it's the responsibility of authors. It's the responsibility of the supervisors. It's the responsibility of every one of us. Let's take few things that we can do, right, to ensure academic integrity and first and foremost thing is very easy thing. It is the heart of doing it. Academic writing. We need to excel in academic writing, especially young researchers, those who are starting and coming into the world of research. They have to learn academic writing better. So then, how do you write things without plagiarism? We learn, and there are various types of academic writing styles, like we'll say APA and Harvard style, Chicago style, and there are lots of other house styles also. So then we need to learn how to properly acknowledge others. That is, we need to know how to quote properly, cite, and even paraphrase. All those things we should know how to do it properly. My advice is first you learn it manually, get the principles, and then you can go for assistance. Means there are assistants, like you get mentors in your universities, like research supervisors. You can get the support, you can clarify things, and you can 100% you can assure your academic writing is better, and you can utilize supportive systems like Turnitin facilities there. Then you can check what is the percentage of similarities in your writing, and then if you know the academic writing well, then you can use automated referencing softwares like EndNote, Mendeley, Zotero, and all those kind of different supportive systems are there, and use those things. But the thing is, before you use it, it's better you learn what is academic writing. Okay. So that is must. And the other thing is, easily you can do is avoid predatory journals. Okay. That you can easily do. And then organizations or institutes or journals can use ethical code of conduct. They can display what are the behaviors that they accept and what are the behaviors that they do not accept from the authors and the fraternity involved in this research process. And again, for institutes, institutes must think of revisiting their academic cultures, and if the integrity is questionable, and those cultures have to be reinvented by inculcating integrity into that academic culture. If integrity is not there in the academic culture, so that will be there will be a social learning effect. So that is, senior researchers, if they don't follow integrity, newcomers will tend to mimic them. That is also there. Then there will be normative effect also, because if many people violates integrity, new people think that why not me? That normative effect will also be there. So therefore, creating a culture that fosters integrity is essential for academic institutes especially. It can be either in learning processes, it can be in research processes, it can be in publications. Everywhere that integrity culture should be there in academic institutes. So then, in order to tackle authorship issues, what we can do is, before you begin a research project, have an open discussion and determine who will be included as authors in advance. And then what are the expectations of authorship? And then the order individuals will be listed on the publication. Who is the first author, who is the second author, likewise. Clarify those things and in advance take that decision, then you can reduce disputes when it comes to publications. All these things are true, but there's one thing, that is, every person who is involved in academic work, research work, in publication, one of the core values that they should have is integrity. Rules can control human behaviors to a certain extent, but not 100%. But if the people understand and people behave honestly, we don't need code of conduct. We don't need retractions. So the main thing is the education system in our countries, any country, has to focus on this from the kindergarten and from the family. Integrity has to be developed in people. So then if they believe that violation of integrity is a serious issue, there'll be a tendency that a lot of people are behaving in an honest manner. That is critical. Okay. So we have to focus on our education systems a lot if we need true knowledge to be produced. If we need true new knowledge to be produced, integrity has to be looked at from the small days of a person. Okay. So we can have so many tools. Those are insufficient to curb the menace. Developing value-based honest human being is central if the knowledge is to be authentic. Today, I shared with you what is academic integrity and why it is important educationally as well as in the research world, and then what is research publication ethics, and then what are the potential integrity and research publication violations, and how do we deal with AI when it comes to publications, and then what can we do to ensure that we have academic integrity and ethics in publications. So finally, I wish all of you a wonderful time and to become great learners as well as great researchers. Okay. Thank you so much. We can move to Q&A. Disha.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rasika, for such a lovely presentation. It was wonderful to hear your thoughts. Give us anecdotes, give us actually research papers and things, and how people have worked so far. It was amazing listening to your presentation. If anybody has any questions, I request you all to please post them in the questions tab. We have a few, but I'll just give a minute or two if anybody else has questions. Please, we have another 15-20 minutes, and we're going to take up the questions. So hopefully anybody who has questions, we'll take them on. Okay, so first question that we've been asked is how to make sure that we always respect academic integrity in our writings. It may happen sometimes that we use some methods which do not align with academic integrity and may not be aware of that. Should I repeat the question, Dr. Rasika?
So Disha, yeah, I think so. How can we ensure academic writing in our endeavors? That's the main question, is it?
Yes, they're saying that how can we make sure that we always respect academic integrity in our writing? Because they're saying that sometimes it may happen that we ourselves may not know that we're making a mistake. So are you able to hear me? Dr. Rasika, are you able to hear me? I can see Dr. Rasika is online. Probably he may be having some issue. No problem. Till the time that we are waiting for Dr. Rasika to be back, may I please request others to post their questions. I think this is a very important forum where we can talk about academic integrity, where we can talk about openly ask questions on someone who's knowledgeable. And no, if you are in a current situation, there can be discussions on how we can face that situation together. So hopefully you all use the platform to ask questions to our speaker today, so that we can have a very, very fruitful discussion. Dr. Rasika, are you back? I think he's facing some issues.
I hope so, Disha. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Could you kindly tell me the question again, because I didn't
Sure.
get you
No
properly.
problem. No problem. The question is that how can we make sure that we always respect academic integrity in our writings? Because the person who's asked the question, they're saying that sometimes we ourselves don't know that we are crossing the line, or some of our methods are not aligned with academic integrity.
Okay. Okay. So answering to that, the first thing is only thing is we need to learn what is right thing when it comes to academic.
Yeah.
Okay. When it comes to doing the research, what is the right thing, as well as when it comes to writing. What is the right thing?
So we're losing your voice again.
So therefore, we need to get rid of don't know. Therefore, we need to learn how to learn. There are various ways, right? One thing is you can get the support of your research supervisors or your members in your institute. Disha, can you hear me?
So you're breaking in the middle, then coming back. So we keep losing you, and then you keep coming back. We can hear you right now. We can't hear you anymore. No
Basically,
problem.
so this internet signals are giving me problem a lot.
No problem at all, sir. What we'll do is
Is it clear now?
yeah, it's clear now. Sir, if we lose you again,
Right.
I'm thinking
So
we can. Can you hear me, sir? Dr. Rasika, can you hear me? No problem. What we'll do is we'll share Dr. Rasika's email ID. The questions can be directed.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, can be directed to him, and I will share his details with everybody, so that any discussions can be taken through an offline platform as well. You can get in touch with him there, because we seem to have been facing some connectivity issues, because I can see that Professor Devasari is not able to connect properly. So maybe collectively there is some issue. And so I'll just give me 1 minute. I'll see if.
Disha, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, sir.
Okay. So answering to that previous question,
Right.
first thing is we need to know about academic writing and this integrity. If we don't know, it's not an excuse. So therefore, new researchers need to learn these things, right? So what is good, what is bad when it comes to doing a research, writing a research, as well as publication. We need to learn it. That's why I said when it comes to plagiarism, whether you do it with intention or not, disregard of your intention, it is plagiarism. So therefore, only thing is we need to improve our awareness.
I think on that, Dr. Rasika, I would like to add that today with the, we have access to internet. We have access to so many things that we can ourselves read and inform ourselves. When you talk about COPE or any other committee, for example, they have the guidelines laid out. It is for us to make sure that we are keeping ourselves informed as much as possible. As much as we can make sure that we are aligned. So hopefully, we others also try and keep themselves informed as much as possible. Now another question that we have after this is, what can be done when studies widely cited in textbooks are later found to be based on fabricated/falsified data?
That is interesting. And basically, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Right? You can't do anything. Sometimes there'll be a ripple effect for your publication also if you have used that data. Okay.
Yeah.
So when so that is why we need to be authentic in our work. Okay. So it's a collective responsibility of all the researchers. Otherwise, there is no development of science. So if it happens like widely cited, it can be, okay, it can be, but you can't do anything if you have cited that. Okay. Only thing is you will have an issue also. Okay. So that's why it's a collective responsibility. So everybody, we have to engage in proper behaviors when it comes to research.
Thank you so much. Now, other questions is just related to normal things, but people asking for the PPT. There are so many people who've written within the questions tab saying that the presentation was wonderful, very, very informative. So just reading through those comments that I have received. Another thing is people asking for PPT. Within by the next meeting, you will have received an email from me sharing the link to the YouTube link for this particular how do you say, this particular I can see Dr. Rasika is offline again. To this particular session, you will be able to see it again. For the PPTs, I think I'll have to ask Dr. Rasika, but this entire session will be available for everyone to view again, because this will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. For faculty, it's going to be there for Sabaragamuwa University. They're going to upload it on their YouTube channel, so this will be available there forever. But apart from that, we don't have any further questions. I would actually like to invite Ms. Dimutu to please give the welcome, the thank you note.
Thank you, Disha. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, distinguished dignitaries, and valued audience. It is with immense pleasure that I extend my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of the Faculty of Management Studies at Sabaragamuwa University of Sri Lanka and Emerald Publishing for the successful completion of the 6th session of our Faculty Development Program 2023. Firstly, our deepest thanks to Dr. Rasika Proyankara, Senior Lecturer at Sabaragamuwa University, for delivering an inspiring and enlightening session, especially for the emerging researchers.
A sincere acknowledgement to Professor Athula Jnanapala and the Faculty of Management Studies for their unwavering support. Special thanks to Professor M.S.M. Aslam, Chairman of the Research and Publication Unit, and all unit members for their invaluable contribution. Our heartfelt gratitude extends to Professor Janathan Devasiri, Chairperson for the Faculty Development Program, whose visionary leadership initiated this remarkable program. A special mention to Ms. Sangeeta Menon and Ms. Disha Lakhanpal from Emerald Publishing, whose collaboration was instrumental in organizing this exceptional event. Our profound appreciation to the meticulous planning and execution by the organizing committee, especially Ms. Chanika Ratnasiri, Program Secretary, and Ms. Kaushalyani Roandika, Coordinating Secretary, whose dedication was integral to the success of the Faculty Development Program. Lastly, a sincere thanks you to our esteemed audience, comprising seniors, professors, academics, researchers, industry participants, research students, and our exclusive media partner, Lake House Publisher, owned by Associate Newspapers of Sri Lanka Limited, for their enthusiastic participation. We eagerly anticipate your presence at the upcoming FPP Session 7 on Academic Networking by Professor Satish Kumar. Once again, thank you all for your unwavering support and active participation. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rasika, for your insightful session. Thank you everyone for being here, giving us your time, and hopefully we will meet in the new year and with another amazing session. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Disha.